Welcome back to another episode of Cyber Tuesdays, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October the 20th, 2020, and this is episode 42. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about securing internet-connected devices in the healthcare industry. And as you all know, this is the third week of National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So that is the topic and the theme for this week. As we continue to practice these healthy habits, is now going to be targeted towards the healthcare industry. And as we all know, the healthcare industry is increasingly relying upon internet-connected devices and solutions to not only improve patient care, but to improve organizational efficiency, the speed of crisis response, and much more. So what's really interesting about this topic and this theme for the week is that this morning my cousin, she reached out to me via text message, and she just wanted to know what is the main goal and objective of To Be Secured, as she was having a conversation with some of her coworkers at her job about my brand and my business. To answer this question and to also share with you guys, the main goal of my business is to provide security awareness, but I also want for this to be a two-way conversation. I want it to be very interactive. I love when people comment under my videos or comment under my posts or even send me topics to discuss on my blog and through my Cyber Tuesdays series. I don't want to just continue getting in front of the camera and discussing different topics and hacking incidents if no one's going to care about it and no one's going to interact with me. So I do appreciate the people who take the time out and interact with my videos and my other content that I put out there, because it's not just for me to create, but I really want you guys to feel like you're learning something from me. You have some tips that you can take away and not only use them, but also share them and be able to relate this information to anyone you're talking to, whether it be your mom, your grandparents, your children, your friends, your other family members. It doesn't matter. If I give you a simple tip such as keep your phones charged at nighttime, it should be simple to be able to relate that message to someone else. So not only do I want to provide security awareness, but I want you guys to actually understand and be able to relate that message and share that knowledge with other people. And what's also interesting about our conversation is the fact that she works in the healthcare industry. She works in the pharmacy part of Walmart, and I just found it really convenient that this week's topic is centered around healthcare and just the overall medical field. The first part that I want to talk about is that hospitals do continue to suffer from security threats, security headaches, security incidents, whatever you want to call it. And the main thing that I want to dive into is the Internet of Things. So I have talked about this in the past and how devices are connected, whether it's through Bluetooth, whether it's through Wi-Fi. It doesn't matter. A simple network can connect devices nowadays, and that is what is continuing to dominate the healthcare industry in today's world. Healthcare Internet of Things devices are equally vulnerable to compromise as a computer, a smartphone, or any other device typically used for work or play, whatever you're using it for. And these devices are not given the same security priority, which explains why they continue to suffer from massive security breaches. In fact, it was found that 67% of healthcare companies experienced a cyber attack in the past year, and this came from ClearSwift on the internet. So I want to go ahead and provide you with some information real quick. The healthcare industry actually faces many of the same security challenges as other organizations, and a few of these include malware and ransomware attacks, cloud threats, misleading websites, of course, phishing attacks, encryption blind spots, employee error, which is the most important, and more. And now I'm going to provide you with some steps to improve your security within the healthcare industry. While healthcare is a large target for bad actors, and it will continue to be moving forward, you cannot just go ahead and ignore these kinds of things that are happening in this industry. So Here are some simple tips for you to use, your team, or just to know about your security overall within your organization. First and foremost, you need to go ahead and establish a culture of security. This tip right here is very well overlooked in the cybersecurity industry, but establishing a culture that continuously trains and educates employees is very important, is very vital. Like I said before, human error is consistently considered the biggest vulnerability for your security posture. Whether that's you clicking on a link, you clicking on an email that contains some kind of malware or virus, or you just downloading something on a machine, that is considered human error because you are making that mistake, not the computer. And this vulnerability can be minimized, but not completely removed or not completely deleted from life ever. But it will ensure that your employees understand both the risk associated with the Internet of Things devices and some best practices that you can use to ensure that everyone stays cyber safe. So that's number one. Remember to go ahead and establish a culture of security within your organization. Number two is protect your mobile devices. And as we all know, mobile devices are very critical in our lives today. They're being used more and more, whether it's used for school, work, or whatever. It's constantly being used by professionals in the healthcare field. And they also provide an additional attack vector for hackers. So you can lock this vector down by securing your mobile devices at work. And you can do this, of course, like I've always shared before in the past, by using complex passwords, encrypting the device that you're using, and also keeping your device on you at all times. Number three is maintain good computer habits. The healthcare field has many interconnected devices, as I've already said, that's a part of Internet of Things. And that includes traditional computers. So with this in mind, you know that people who work in the medical field, they continue to use those traditional computers. And it is very important to maintain good computer habits while you're at work. So whenever you are onboarding new employees, it's very important to establish an acceptable usage policy for work computers. So what you can do and what you cannot do, and what you can use and what you cannot use while at work, including your actual browsing behavior, your software, and your operating system maintenance, and just proper privacy practices while charting and doing other things. Number four, plan for the unexpected. So whether you like it or not, security incidents, they will continue to happen. They will always happen. They are just bound to happen. So this is why it's so important for us to plan for the unexpected, because you never know what is going to happen. Being prepared means that you must regularly back up your and your company's precious data in order to make data restoration quick and painless. The last thing you want to do is lose all of your data because you forgot to back it up. And this also goes hand in hand with our phone. So don't forget to back up your data to your cloud, because you never know what can happen to your device. So here are some similar tips and tricks that you can implement within your work environment, and this will also help you to further minimize your exposure to costly attacks. Control and limit your access to protected health information. Limit your network access, so you don't want everyone and anyone to be able to access your network, especially if they're able to get into an area that contains personally identifiable information or critical information or any kind of private and sensitive data. Control your physical access. Of course, that goes hand in hand with limiting your network access. So make sure that you are controlling your physical access as well. It's something that I point out all the time. Use strong passwords and make sure that you update them regularly. And, just maintaining all of these standards and these procedures, it will ensure and just allow everyone to know what acceptable use is, what you can and what you cannot use, and what is at risk whenever you are operating these devices or just using these devices in general. So if you follow these tips, it will cut down on the time that you spend fixing your cybersecurity problems. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on tomorrow for another post, but peace out.